I was a kid, God, I feel like I would eat so much of this before we actually made them into little balls. Hey everyone, I'm Nia. Welcome back to another episode of Recipe Drop. Today we're making no-bake Swedish chocolate balls. I think you're gonna really like them because they're chocolatey, they're buttery, they only take 10 minutes to make and pretty much only have 5 ingredients. They're also a great make-ahead snack or dessert, so if you need something that's easily transportable for the summer, this recipe is perfect. So when we actually develop our recipes, I usually write my recipes in a notebook, but then when I'm actually cooking it for a video, I like to print it out just because I feel like my handwriting sometimes can be hard to read, so I like to just have it nice and clear right in front of me. So here's my head note. This is not final, by the way. This is just kind of my first head note draft, and then it goes to the editor and she helps me to finalize it. Here are my tips that I want to mention, and then here's the recipe and the steps. Okay, probably could have grabbed the ingredients while we were walking, but do you want to go get the ingredients with me too? Yeah, okay. Let's bring this. Okay, I have sugar. Caesar, are you done with the oats? Okay, I have the butter. We're using the Dutch processed cocoa powder today. I usually use natural for this, but I don't know where the natural cocoa powder is, so this is what we're using. It'll probably be better with this, honestly. Have you ever made these before? Have you ever had these?
Actually, I used to make them when I was vegan.
Really?
Honest, yes, a lot. But
these have butter in them, though.
Do we need to blast the butter?
Ooh. When I'm at home, I stick the butter under my armpits. While I cook, not if I'm wearing a short sleeve, if I'm wearing long sleeve. Anna, our food stylist and recipe developer, she will stick them, she'll wear her apron and she'll stick them inside her apron here. Wow. So sometimes, I'll never forget, I was hanging out with her and she all of a sudden just whipped out 2 sticks of butter from her apron. And I was like, Anna, what? That's how you soften butter? And probably less gross than the armpits. These are maybe a little softer than what I would like them to be. All right, this is a little messy. I'm gonna make a double batch since these hold up so well in the fridge and it's nice to just have a double batch of these. The seeds, yeah. Stealing my oats. Caesar, are you done with the oats? So how I usually make this recipe is by mixing everything together with my hands. If you think that's gross, you can use this. I actually am gonna use this today, just for the sake of the video, because it does kind of look gross when you have your hands all in there. It's a brand new thing of sugar. Free branding. Free branding? No, I'm kidding. You want to make them as Swedish and original and as delicious as you possibly can. First of all, use salted butter. This is unsalted, because I feel like that's kind of what we use here, but salted is better. And for sugar, just granulated white sugar is best. You could use brown sugar. It will alter the taste. You could use coconut sugar. I don't have a half cup, but I'm gonna do 1 cup of sugar. So this is just a 1/4. So I'm doing 4 of these. Also, I feel like I forgot to mention that these are no-bake, which is probably the best thing about the recipe, is you just mix everything together, roll them, toss them in the fridge a little. So I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons since, again, we're doubling the recipe. So usually for this recipe, as I mentioned before, I use natural cocoa powder just because it's usually what I have at home. In Europe, most of the time they use Dutch processed cocoa powder, and Dutch processed cocoa powder has a bit more of a chocolatier Oreo flavor. So, doing 1/2 cup of this. Just a 1/4 if you're making 1 batch. I'm gonna do 2.5 cups of rolled oats. I might add more, kind of depending on what the consistency is looking like later. Yeah, these are pretty thick, so they're not gonna soak up as much of the butter and the coffee as some other oats. So that's why sometimes I end up adding a little bit more oats. So 2.5 cups total. We're using instant coffee today. You want to use really strong coffee, strong cold coffee. But if you don't have instant coffee, you can just brew yourself a little bit of coffee or save some from the morning. Let it cool in the fridge for a little, and it'll probably be better, honestly. If you ever have leftover coffee from your morning, don't throw it away. Just pop it in the fridge in a cup or something, and you can use it for so many recipes. I like to add my cold coffee in smoothies. That's really good. Or like anything with chocolate, coffee helps to kind of amplify the chocolate flavor, which I really like. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit. So I have 1/4 of a cup of water here. So you wanna use 1/4, ooh, doubling the recipe, I forgot. So we're gonna have to increase this. A little bit more than 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground coffee. I actually am gonna start with this, I think, because I don't want them to be too liquidy, although it is what I have in the recipe. So I'm gonna add that. If you do use instant coffee, make sure to let it dissolve enough. 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay, yeah, so that's really all the ingredients you need. I'm gonna probably choose a bowl that's too small, but let's mix this together. Definitely don't do it on too high of a speed though, because you don't want the cocoa to kind of like come up and go on everything. I chose to wear like pretty much all white today. I feel very nautical. You can see it's really starting to come together. I don't think I've ever used an electric mixer to make chocolate balls before until I was testing it in the kitchen because I just didn't feel like getting my hands dirty. Now I'm wondering why I've never used an electric mixer because it's so much easier. It's definitely a lot less messy. So I feel like this is my method going forward. Let's get a spoon. I need a taste. How's it coming? It smells really good.
Yes.
What's in the granola? Are you guys like a granola and milk or granola and yogurt or granola as a snack?
I think if I would have granola, it would be on yogurt, but I mean, it's such a treat.
That's what I think. Like, I feel like some people are like, oh yeah, breakfast, but I'm like, it's not. I mean, there's a lot of sugar in there.
There's a lot of sugar and oil.
Like, there's healthy fats, there's healthy things, but then there's like not healthy things. This was the right call. So good. Do you want to taste?
Yeah. It's so rich.
Very rich. A lot of butter. Yeah, it doesn't need more coffee, right? Yeah, I think.
I almost forgot about the coffee.
Right?
It's like perfectly mixed.
Thank you. Even though it worked great the last few times I made it, I think this doesn't feel like it needs more liquid, so I'm gonna just stick with the less amount of coffee. You don't have to use a scoop. At home, I usually just use 2 spoons. I'm also not too precious about like the size. They don't have to all be the same. I'm probably gonna use more than this, so probably just do like a heaping scoop. I'm actually gonna get some gloves because I have rings on, and at home I don't have any gloves, so I would just do it. I'll go get some gloves for you guys. Okay, wait. I'm now $20 richer. Is this yours?
I swear it is.
Sure. Small.
Caesar's the winner.
Gloves, they fit. Now I'm just gonna roll these into balls about this size. When I make these with my cousins or when I was younger, I feel like we used to make these small because like as a kid, you don't want your kid to like eat huge pieces of dessert. But if you go to a cafe in Sweden, you often get a really big one. So I'll give you an example. You would get one probably like this size, which is kind of a lot to eat for one person, considering it's just like a lot of butter. They sell them at Fabrik. Have you ever been? Oh, it's so good. It's a Swedish bakery on 14th and 8th, I believe, in Manhattan. And they make things like chocolate balls. They make cardamom buns. They make Swedish cinnamon buns called Chokladbollar. I feel like I'm making these bigger and bigger as I go.
Yes.
I gotta chill. If you're not doubling this recipe and if you're not making them as big as I'm making them, then it would probably make like 12 or so. Even though these are best chilled, they're also really good eaten just like right after you make them. And they're fine to eat like a little bit warmer, which is why they make a really good on-the-go snack. My mom used to always pack these for when we would go on hikes in the summer. You can pack them up really easily. You could also freeze them if you wanted to. One thing that sometimes people also do in Sweden is you can take an immersion blender and really grind up the oats, and then they become even more like rich and almost truffle-like. I don't do that just because I kind of like the bite of the oats, and this is also the most traditional way to make them. Okay, so this made a lot less than I was expecting because, yeah, again, made them pretty big. Also, gloves were the right call. Now we're gonna roll them in some coconut flakes. Very important that they are shredded and also unsweetened is the key. How I would describe pearl sugar is almost like condensed little beads of powdered sugar. I don't think that's exactly what it is. I brought this from Sweden. I know you can order them online, but they're really good. So if you don't have that, if you don't have access to pearl sugar, just use coconut instead. But what I like about the pearl sugar is that it's pretty crunchy, so it adds a nice bite. Okay, so I'm probably gonna do half in coconut, half in pearl sugar. I got a lot of good feedback with the pearl sugar the other day. People seem to really like it, so definitely gonna do these again. So this is really all it is. Mix everything together, form them into balls, roll them in some coconut, and they're done. The thing though to keep in mind is that you do want to kind of do it quickly just so that the heat from your hands don't melt the butter. The cooler you keep the butter, the less time they have to chill in the fridge. What sounds better to you, coconut or pearl sugar?
Well, I've never had pearl sugar. I would necessarily be more inclined to coconut because of the islands.
I also will never forget, I was at my friend's house. Her mom was making chocolate balls for us, and instead of shaping them into balls, she shaped them into little cylinders almost. I was like, whoa, I've never had them in this shape before. And like, it's so insignificant, but it was also kind of like, it obviously stuck with me.
Like a Tootsie Roll?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, almost.
Can you roll one of these
Oh my
for
god,
me?
yeah, fun. Wait, you want to get a little bowl and you
Yeah.
can roll one? The test kitchen is made for experimenting, so. Okay, I'm gonna do a pearl sugar one.
Kind of resembles a pretzel.
Yeah, a chocolate pretzel. Do you want to do it? Do it. Take any one. I like that idea. I've never done it with sprinkles before. This is nice. So if anybody eats this, Caesar's coming for you. Cute. Oh my god, should I do another one? I'll just do another one. That's cute. I like that. Yeah, you could literally use whatever you have at home. This is nice. It's cute. Let's do one more. Yum. So I have experimented making some that are like on the healthier side but taste very similar. And with that, I've actually done dates, cocoa, maybe brown sugar, I think. Maybe that'll be next. If you wanted to make these for like a birthday party or something, you could make a bunch of the like balls that are unrolled, and then you could set up a different station of different toppings, and then you could have kids, friends, family members, whoever, do like a make your own chocolate ball kind of thing. I don't know if that's necessary, but it could be fun. Here they are. As I said, you can either eat them now if you must. They are a lot better once you've let them chill for even just 20 minutes. If you're on a time crunch, you could pop them in the freezer even, but probably 30 minutes, 20 minutes is all you need in the fridge. Whenever I go into the walk-in fridge, I think of that scene of the bear where he gets stuck in the walk-in fridge. Imagine. I'm looking for some storage containers. I feel like this one will be perfect.
Oh, wow.
Do you think this one probably won't fit all of them? I also feel like we're gonna eat them, so I feel like I won't have to put all of them in the fridge, so I feel like this is fine. Some cute serving plates. Ooh, these are nice. Jars ceramic, lots of different colors. Ooh, the blue are nice too. Okay, let's do the blue and the pink. Okay, so we're doing everything in one trip. Got the props. Now I'm gonna grab the chocolate balls. Perfect. Nice. They've chilled for about 30 minutes. They're pretty nice and solid. I have a few serving plates from Jars Ceramics. Really nice. Actually, I think I'm only gonna serve about half of them, and I'm gonna put the rest of them in the fridge for later. And then this serving platter, I had to choose because it's my parents that made this. They have a glass blowing studio in Burlington, Vermont called AO Glass. As of recent, we're carrying some of their stuff. So we have these cake plates. They come in a few different colors. I love this blue one. I feel like it goes really well with the chocolate and the white of the pearl sugar. I did roll most of them in coconut, so I'm gonna add most of those to here. Put this one in the middle. Cute. Nicole, do you want one?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I have
Staring at these.
I have a few plates. You
Okay.
can grab.
What are these?
These are Swedish Chokladbolls
Amazing.
with
What's in
butter, oats, cocoa, sugar.
Ooh.
They're addicting. They're really good.
Ooh. And there's topped with all different things. Like, what's
Yeah.
this one?
That's pearl sugar. That's
Ah.
coconut. I feel like I might bring them around, see if anybody wants one at their desk.
They're delicious.
Yeah?
I love it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
This is what it looks like on the inside. So good. So good.
Hey Caesar, you want to come get the sprinkled one?
Like when they're hard, they just like melt in your mouth. And if I have these in my fridge at home, I will not stop eating them. You don't want the whole thing?
Half now, half later.
Thank you. So easy.
It's like an easy truffle.
Yeah, easy truffle. Do I bring them around on like a, on this you think, or, okay, I'm gonna take this because it looks prettier. Let's go see who we can find. We'll say it's morning fika because morning fika is before lunch, so. And I feel like this is an appropriate size for a pre-lunch treat.
I don't know, this is empty.
It's empty, it's quite empty. Anybody want a treat? No? Okay, everybody's in a meeting, it seems. So I'm gonna just put them in the fridge for now so that people can come grab them later if they want. So have my Mapal storage container. So now I'm obviously gonna just put them in the fridge for people to eat later. These storage containers are really good for if you do wanna bring them on the go. Have really sealable lids, which is really nice. And if you have something that's more liquidy, it's definitely not gonna seep through.
No, don't overstuff.
Don't overstuff. I'm gonna go with the next one. And it's nice because they come in a bunch of different sizes. This is like a good lunch box, but this is a good like snack box for school or something, or work. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'm not gonna put those away because I'll probably eat them. So yeah, you could bring this on a hike, as I mentioned before. This is like great if you want to bring them to like a cookout, any kind of like 4th of July or any kind of like fun summer get together that you're doing. You could just pack them up in a container and bring them. So I'm gonna pop these in the fridge for people to come grab later if they get hungry. If you want the recipe, you can find it in the description below. Let me know what you think if you make them. They're really easy, they're delicious. They literally only take 10 minutes. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next recipe drop video.